Do you think Rangnick's the right man for this towards the end of the season or beyond? Because I'm thinking since Sir Alex Ferguson, you talk about unity, a plan. Those words have not echoed any of the managers that have followed him, have they? So,
yeah, I don't know what role that he'll play out next season. I think this season has to play itself out. But I think that he's somebody that they've obviously brought into, and they're going to say, right, here, set the framework out for the future of this football club. And he has experience at other clubs, not at the magnitude of Manchester United, but he's done it at a lesser club in a different country, which is very different. And we have to see if he's capable of doing that here at a club of the size of Manchester United. But with that, these people, they need time. And you can't keep going through managers and going through rosters of players at the rate that Man United have been doing if you want to have an opportunity of being successful.
My worry's been the players this season. I think a lot of people have talked about body language and attitude, and these are things coming out of dressing rooms that you don't like to hear. And I think whoever comes in and takes that role after Rangnick this season has got a real job on his hands to make a harmonious dressing room again, I think, because with the body language, when things go wrong, there are arms thrown. You know, people tweeting, even coming out on Twitter and sort of undermining the manager.
Lingard, Martial.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's Manchester United. That should not be happening. We talked about Thomas Tuchel and the handling of Lukaku. You know, that got nipped in the bud early. You know, that shouldn't be happening. And I think whoever comes in, I mean, regardless of the manager, I think sometimes you have to look at actually the players and not the management. I mean, whoever comes in now has got a real job in his hands to galvanise this squad and galvanise this team. And yeah, of course, if they finish in the top four, that will be a success. But next season's it's got to be done right.
I think when you look at successful clubs, there's an element of fear within that club that flows through from someone who's leading that club. You look at Man City with Pep. You know the players aren't going to take liberties there. They'll be put in their place. Klopp, you can see Tuchel proved that again, as Crouch, you just said about Lukaku. I don't see that figure at Manchester United who strikes fear into the players that they go, I'm going to think about before I do that. And I think that's an issue that needs to be addressed.
Rangnick's coming as a well-respected coach, not as a manager. And they, for me, are two completely different skill sets. You know, manager is the one who strikes the fear when they need to. They lead, they put arms around players, they manage individuals, they manage personalities. And with the leaks coming out of the dressing rooms, when Ronaldo spoke out about the young players and how that they weren't necessarily pulling their weight, you can see that there isn't that kind of leader, that figurehead who they're looking up to and respecting.
Is it difficult, though, when you, and all the players know you're there till the end of the season? It's like a supply teacher in the classroom, isn't it? You can have, it's a day off, basically.
I think this is a problem throughout the Premier League and football in general now. Like, I think it happened at Tottenham to a certain degree. Players will look at the manager and think, well, I'm not in the team at the moment, but I look at the manager in his eyes and say, well, I'll still be here longer than you, so I'll just try for the next manager. You know, like that. I hope that that's not the case, but I think it's a problem that's creeping into football that you look at Watford and the managers they go through. You know, if you're not playing the Watford team, you go, I'll just wait for the next one.
Yeah.
You know, and that is a problem when you hire and fire managers as quickly at the rate that you do, that eventually, you know, the players are going to care less about keeping him in the job.